105.5 WDHA, the Rock of New Jersey. Mike Anthony broadcasting live here with TC. We are at PNC Bank Arts Center, and it's time. It's here.
You know what I was thinking? It takes balls to cover AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially that song. It's such an iconic song, you know, and Lizzy's got the balls, man.
She can do it. She can do it. Rock the Park. We're here, man.
I can't believe it's Rock the Park Day. Finally. Just incredible. As we got here, Hailstorm was soundchecking. That sounded really good.
Yeah, we'll give you all the set times coming up in a little bit, but what a lineup, man. We're looking forward to Lilith, Czar, and The Warning, The Pretty Reckless, and of course Hailstorm. It's going to be a great night.
And I've said this multiple times, and I really mean it. Get here early. We've got some amazing young opening talent, and you don't want to miss Lilith Czar. She's going on at 6 o'clock. Doors at 5, Lilith at 6, and The Warning, just absolutely incredible. These are girls that when they were, I don't know, 8, 10 years old, you know, they were YouTube sensations covering Metallica.
Yeah.
And now, that was 2014, so it's, you know, all those years later. And they've got this phenomenal record out called Error, and they are bringing it every night on the tour.
Cannot wait to see them. It's going to be a fun time, and we have a special guest here, not just the one and only TC, but Lzzy Hale, everybody.
I feel like I haven't seen the lizard in years.
I know, I'm so happy that you still call me that. That's amazing.
I saw you, like, I got a little, like, stuck in my throat. I got a little emotional.
Likewise, because, I mean, we've been through a lot. And then I've seen you over Zoom, and now I'm like, oh, she does exist beyond the screen. So it's so great to see both of you, seriously.
Well.
It is awesome to see you. I was thinking about you because you have so, like, diversified. And sometimes now I turn on the TV, and there's Lizzy. And she's, like, interviewing, and she's commentating, and which is so great for you. So talk to me a little bit about kind of opening that little window.
Well, I think that the silver lining over the past couple of years is that I've always said yes to adventure, but now I'm kind of doubling down to the point that I've realized that my method is say yes first and then figure it out later.
Yes,
There's so many of these things, like with the TV. I've been on Access TV and
Epics. I saw you on Epics. You were doing commentating for something.
No Cover and all this stuff, and it's so crazy how like that world has opened up. But the very first time I ever did it, it was like 20 minutes before we're about to we're starting shooting, and I'm like, what if I'm terrible at this?
Right.
I didn't even think about that. I just said yes and like dove in head first in the Shark Tank, and and I just really enjoy it. It's just another extension of who I am, and I just love it.
And I saw you, I think, interviewing. I don't remember seeing you interviewing the ladies from The Warning.
Yes.
Which was so cool. And then did you decide, you know what, I got to take these ladies on a tour?
I got to tell you, it's been a couple of years where I have literally just been hounding on, like, we have to take these girls out. We have to take these girls out. And then we had a little writing session, like, over Zoom, like, months and months ago, and they were just so incredibly sweet.
They're delightful. I said not only are they monsters on stage, it's the only word I can think of for them, because I've interviewed them. They're like delightful.
It's just this unbridled joy, and especially like backstage, because like it's just all all the girls, and like we're just doing the thing, and then all of a sudden you hear these like little voices, and they're just excited about everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And so I'm kind of like living vicariously through them, because I'm like, oh my god, I remember like those early tours when everything was just so magical, and it still is, but it's just a different game.
Yeah, you see it through somebody else's eyes.
But yeah, it's beautiful, and they're so sweet, and they're so good. Anybody listening that has not seen them live, I mean, it's just amazing. It's amazing to the point that they're all under 21, and they're rocking it so hard that all of us, backstage are watching this every night. And we're like, hey guys, we should go practice. So it's really, it's beautiful.
That is great. I remember seeing their YouTube video and the little sandals and the little bare feet. They're rocking Nature Sandman. I'm like, look at these girls. Amazing. And I'm so happy that you've taken them out on the road, because that's where they deserve to be, being seen.
Yes.
And it's so amazing. We talked about this before, but what you've done to really escalate that, women in rock and roll, coming and doing major tours, arena tours, shows with all-female fronted bills. We didn't see this years ago. I've been in radio a long time. We never saw it. And you've been somebody who's really put kind of the propeller on that and moved us to the front of the arena for this.
Well, I just think it's really important, and I know it shouldn't be the main subject ever. Like, hey, what's it like being a girl in rock? Like, we've all been through that.
Yep.
But the amazing thing about putting all of these, and all of us are from different walks of life, putting these girls on stage on a tour like this, you see it happen in the audience. You see all of these young girls that no matter what they want to be, they're seeing themselves reflected in one of us. And so it just kind of makes that bridge to their dream just a little shorter, because I remember that happening to me when I first got introduced to, our foremothers of rock, Ann Wilson and Pat Benatar and Lita Ford and all of these girls. I remember that feeling where it's like, oh, they're doing what they love. They're doing what makes them happy. It's possible.
I can do that too.
So I can do that too. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of trying to pass the torch.
And sonically, everybody on this tour is very different sounding.
Oh, yes.
Warning doesn't sound like Hailstorm. Hailstorm doesn't sound like Lilith.
No,
none of the bands sound like the Pretty Reckless. It's
Absolutely.
very, very unique. It's a unique rock package regardless of gender.
Absolutely. And it just goes back to that, that age-old conversation is that all of us, and we've all had this conversation backstage, we didn't get into rock to impress a boyfriend, or we didn't get drugged to the rock show. We were like, doing 2 jobs at once in order to afford tickets so we could go to this happy place. And so we're all up there owning this genre, and like we've both talked about before, it's completely genderless, and we're proving that over and over again. So
speaking of genderless, I wanted to do this because every time we talk about women rocking, and the record is phenomenal. Back from the Dead is what we all felt like. We all kind of felt like we were back from the dead. Talk to me about the band. Your band.
Man,
it's just such a great unit of people, friends, musicians on stage. Every tour gets better and bigger and stronger, and the stage show is amazing. Talk to me about the guys. Talk to me about, Joe and Josh and RJ and how you guys, almost 20 years now together. It's a lot.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, part of the reason why I'm wearing this hat this year is that on August 9th, this month, just coming up in a little bit, will mark the 25th anniversary of our first ever show as Hailstorm.
Wow.
So my little brother and I, my little brother's in the drums. You can see him from a mile away. He's a neon green. He's a walking glow stick right now. He wears his personality on the outside. But all of us, Joe and Josh, I mean, they're my brothers from another mother, and I think the biggest accomplishment that we have as a band is that we all still love each other. We hang out, we laugh to the point of tears every single day. We support each other. It would not be Hailstorm without those 4 pillars. Each of us brings something to the table. We also, speaking of hats, we all wear different types of hats, where it's my little brother knows when I'm talking to him like I'm a big sister, and he knows when I'm talking to him like, hey, I'm your bandmate now.
Right.
And likewise, it goes around and around with all 4 of us. But I am so lucky. I've had these boys next to me since the beginning, and they're my allies, they're my best friends. They know me better than my own family does at this point,
It's true, it's
my
true.
real family.
And you're the front person. The front person always gets the person who does the interviews, and the person who does the Zooms, and the person who does, so I was like, you know what, this time we got to give it up for the rest of the band.
Oh yeah, well I have to tell you, so this is a conversation that now I'm having with a lot of other people, like, hey, so you're on the cover of the album, you're doing a lot of stuff. Are they pissed? Right. It's always their idea, because I'm like, they're like, no, you do it, do it, you put it out there. So they actually really like that. I love doing music videos. They like it too, but I like it more. So, if you see me being the front person, all this stuff, just know these guys are my allies, and they are very much enjoying all of that.
Oh, and by the way, the video for Wicked Ways is so incredible.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, it is unbelievable. Whoever styled that.
We went back with Dustin Hayes, who actually did our Back from the Dead video.
Oh, so good.
We become really good friends, and that was his favorite song on the album. So when we're like, okay, we need to do this as the next single, we're like, okay, call up Dustin. What do you got, buddy? And
amazing.
It was so cute. If any of you guys have watched the video, the priest was so sweet. He's like this quiet, beautiful man, and then all of a sudden he got into character, and I'm like, oh, you're creepy. This is awesome.
Great.
So
That's
we
great.
had a lot of fun doing that.
That's great. Lzzy, we love you so much.
Thank you so much. We love
we've
you
known you since 2009, and
my
it's
gosh.
just like the time just goes by.
It really
family
does.
to us. So happy to be here at Rock the Park. Get here early, guys. Don't miss our openers. Hailstorm going on at 9:30. Doors, by the way, open at 5. Lilith on at 6. Tickets still available. And Lzzy, love you, and thank you so
Love
much
you
for being
too.
with us.
No, thank you so much for being a part of the Hailstorm family for so many years. You guys have stuck with us. We love you so much.
Yay! And we'll be back. More DHA Rock coming out live from Rock the Park. And look at, this is what I just said to Lilith Czar, my girl, who I just love, love, love. Does she ever look like there's a bead of sweat on her?
Not at all.
You're a rock star. You're such a rock star. I can't even take it anymore. And it's great to see you.
It's
I
so
feel
good
like
to
I
see
have
you.
this love affair with you on social
I
media.
know.
I'm always
We're
watching
every
you.
day. I love it. I love that we're able to chat every day.
It's so nice, and it's so nice to see you and be able to see you on tour. I thought of you yesterday. You know what? Do you know what yesterday was?
Yesterday was Wednesday.
41st anniversary of Belladonna being released from Stevie Nicks. And I know that Stevie has inspired you so much. I remember you telling me a story
of myself. If I hadn't had my head buried in yesterday's show.
Well, one thing goes into the next thing, goes into the next thing. Tell the story again that you told me when you were first on Reconnect with Rockers, when you first heard Edge of 17, where you were and the impact it had on you as a young girl.
So I would say that Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, Belladonna, Rumors, that those were the two, I would say, prominent records played in my house as a little girl, that next to like Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones. But Stevie was the first female singer and rock musician that I heard as a human. And when I heard her voice when I must have been 4 years old, there was just something so captivating about it, the rawness, the real, grit to it, but the fragileness and the vulnerability to her voice, but then it also was very commanding. All of those things, I just gravitated towards her so much that, I had my mom buying, VHS tapes so I could watch Fleetwood Mac, and seeing her was a whole other experience, seeing how just mystical she was and larger than life, and it just felt like she wasn't really part of this earth. And I owe a lot to her.
I see, though, a lot of that in what you do, because it's very I was recently talking with someone. I gave an interview about women in music, and they asked me some of my favorite tunes from the year, and I said you, and I said a Dorothy record I loved, and I explained to you as rock performance art, which is what I think makes you so unique, and I can see you sort of getting into that spell that she kind of gets in when you're on stage. It's very similar.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a giant compliment. I don't know if I can
because you get really lost.
Yeah, well, that is something that I've always experienced when I go on stage, is once I start singing, once I start performing, it's kind of like a little bit of an out-of-body experience for me. I get very I get lost in my own world. And that's what happens when you go on stage as a performer, and even as somebody who attends shows, you're going to a new world, you're going to a different universe, you're going to a place that artists have created for you, and to bring you in, and it's this whole world. And so I don't know, I do get really, really caught up in that kind of energy with the crowd and with the music and the singing, the whole thing. It feels like a different plane almost than just being on planet Earth.
And we feel it too. And the other thing that this year has shown me is just how hard you work. You have not stopped at all. You have been on tour after tour after tour, just killing it every night. I remember you were on one of the tours, the 3 Days Grace tour, and those guys had to take a day off because they had a COVID positive. What did you do? You were like, hi, we're doing a free show. Like, you just keep going. How important has it been for you over this year to just build that fan base like you have? And the fan base is so loyal, they love you.
Well, thank you. It's extremely important. I think that after 2020, I kind of got an idea of what the world would be like without live music and without getting to do the one thing that makes me feel complete. And I did not like it. It was not a good feeling. And so I think that there's a silver lining there with COVID for me personally, and that's that I'm not taking this for granted.
and it is, you know, it can be fleeting, and so you better do it now and do it as much as you possibly can, because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Doors at 5, Lilith on at 6. Your band is amazing too. And I keep telling everyone, get here early. Tailgating is fun. If you want to do it really super early, but don't miss our opening bands, because we've got phenomenal, great young female talent, and I want everybody to make sure that they see you, because you killed it at Rock the Rock Fest, and I'm so happy that you're on this bill.
Thank you so much.
So,
You're so
love
awesome.
you.
I love
Thank you so much for stopping by. The beautiful, amazing Lilith Czar. We're going to play you doing Edge of 17 a little later in the broadcast, I think.
Okay.
But I want to do 100 Little Deaths right now.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
ZouZou is here from Soraia.
I was going to say, who could it be?
Who could it
Who else
be?
is coming?
Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. You came as Scotty B's date.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Scotty!
I'm his roadie today.
Yeah,
I'm his
that's great.
roadie.
I'm a fan with a limp.
Scotty be in the house today.
Scotty is in the house. The Rock Turtle Brigade, I'm sure, is already tailgating. They started on Monday.
That's right. I started Sunday.
Talk to me about why you wanted to be at the show. I mean, this is a dynamite bill, but what is it like for you, you know, being a woman who's on stage every night, kind of kicking it and seeing, you know, a full, you know, female-fronted bill?
I think it's awesome. I've never seen, I saw Hailstorm back when I first started. I was on a bill with Lzzy, and they were just leaving the area, and I had just started. So to get to see them now is going to be really exciting, and I think it's really cool that it's all female fronted acts and such powerhouses too. I'm really excited. I was excited to come to the show. I was like kind of excited all week, so because I knew I was coming. So I'm just happy to be here as Scotty's date and as a guest, and I love WDHA, you know that. So anytime I can support
And we
too.
love you. It's so nice to have you. And of course, ZouZou like just arrived, and I'm like, get behind the microphone. Come on, we're gonna put you to work. Come on, get on the air with us today. So talk to me about what's going on with the band. What's going on with Soraia?
Well, we just finished our last, we're doing some one-offs in July. We came back from Sweden, and we did our video on the West Coast.
So good too.
I cannot wait for you to see this video.
So all your video work has been so amazing. Where do you find these great video people who capture what the band is about? Because I think every song tells a great story. Are you involved in sort of the storyboards for these things?
I am.
Yeah.
It's the same director, the last two videos, and I am so in love with his stories.
And this new one that's coming too?
Yeah, he's done.
Yay.
He's done I Am the Fire. He's done with Hailstorm.
Oh,
He's
wow.
done, he's the first AD on a lot of those. He just did the Yeah's new video.
Oh, awesome.
He's a great storyteller, and he always asks me what my story of the song is about. And he takes one line. I say I'm alive in the song, and where do you see what he did with that? And he made the whole video story around that.
Awesome.
It's amazing. It was fun to do. It's always fun to work with him. I'm always inspired. His team is very inspiring. They're film people, so it's like a mini film all the time, which I love. Like, I love the story.
And they're so personal. You want them to come out. You don't want it to take away from what the song is, you know? So I think that people don't realize when you do a video and you do something and you're sort of like, oh, we didn't really like that very much. You know, some people think that a video could ruin everything for them, you know? So it's a very, very important part of the creative process of making art.
I think so. I've enjoyed doing them more. I used to not like them at all. Now, working with this team and this director, I love doing them. I feel like it adds to the story of the songs that I come up with later, too.
And you know what I love too? Scotty was on me all week. Send me set time. Send me set time. Send me set time. So I said, all right. And he goes, because ZouZou doesn't want to miss any of the bands. And I love that. That's what I love about you. You're so music passionate.
I'm here for from the start with Lilith Czar to the end with Hailstorm. So.
You're gonna be blown away by Lilith. She's awesome.
I've never seen her either.
Phenomenal.
I'm really excited. It's a
Doors,
great
by the
film.
way, at 5. Everybody get here. Lilith goes on at 6. Mike Anthony will turn it back to me. Oh, we had such a star-studded hour here.
Pretty awesome stuff, man.
Lilith was here, and Lzzy was here, and ZouZou came by, and we've got the ladies from the morning. I feel like I've known you guys forever, even though I just Zoomed with you one time. But we had such a great time when we Zoomed.
Bonded.
Yeah, we definitely bonded.
Yeah.
And I mentioned on the air before, and it's such a corny word, and I hope you don't hate me for saying this, but I said, they're just like, not only are they monsters on stage, they're just the most delightful girls, like, to be around. And Lzzy was here earlier, and she said that you guys brought this energy to the tour because for you guys, she did say this.
She's not lying.
She said the band watches you, and then they kind of look at each other and go, "Oh my God, we got to bring it tonight."
Oh my god! No. I think it's the other way around completely. We get to watch their shows every night, and it's just like they blow our heads every single night.
Well, she did say that you've sort of upped the game for the band, which I think for the headliner and for somebody who's been doing it 25 years is pretty amazing. Well, I've heard amazing things about you guys on tour. I hear that you're just completely converting fans over. People love you guys. They're loving the sets. The merch booth is on fire, I've heard.
Yes.
So talk to me about what it's like that you guys have this incredible fan base. When I posted the Reconnect with Rockers that I did, it was like thousands of hits on the video were coming like fast and furious, like every hour. Where did this amazing international fan base come
Oh my
from?
god, that's the Warning Army for you. It's literally, there's a lot of, there's a big community of our fan base that we love. We have our own Patreon page, and I think that's where it kind of like grew to the amount of people that are in this community as of right now. And most of them don't even know each other, but they're already like super connected. They're like, we're going to meet at the Warning show someday. So yes, everyone is super supportive, and we have a very like nice and loving community. So
Yeah, they love you guys. They love the sisters. Now, which sister was not the sister that was originally going to play music with the other two sisters? Because I know that two were really passionate and started out, and one of you were kind of unsure.
Well, I'm not unsure, but I think it was kind of added
I
because
was
she was
really
young.
So when how and Dany started, Dany was like,
Yeah, I was
you
6.
were 6 and Pao was 4.
Okay.
So I was
6 and 4.
so I was like 1. So
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But later on, I started playing the piano as well, and then of course I got to choose bass, and yeah, I wasn't really unsure. I was just really young to start playing.
And my favorite bass player at whatever age she was, 8 years old or 7, with her sandals on, her little sandals in the Metallica video, incredible. So talk to me about Papa, because Papa kind of started all of this, right? So talk to me about your dad a little bit.
So my dad was an audio engineer. He had his studio. He had his thing going on, and at one point, he just like really wanted to express his love of music with us. So we grew up listening to a lot of music that he was like, you have to listen to it. So like the family bonding that we had in our house was literally watching concerts on the TV.
Who was the first person you saw, like what made that visual impact on you? Do you remember?
Oh my god, he literally played us concerts since we were babies, so I don't like remember the first, but
Wow.
I feel like the ones that Queen
Queen,
and
oh,
Pink
wow.
Floyd are like there, and Muse.
And Muse,
Muse.
wow.
Yes.
And that, you know what, I see this kind of, there's 3 of you, I love a good power trio, and I see that big sound, there's that big arena kind of rock sound.
Thank you.
Yeah, so talk to me about the new record, Carol.
Well, the new record, we recorded it in 2020 here in New Jersey.
Clifton, New Jersey! Can you believe that?
I know.
Woo, I
We
did not
spent
know
4
this.
months here working on this record, and it's a pandemic baby. It really is, because we in the middle of lockdown we found a way to just like kind of like lock ourselves down, but in a studio and work on this creatively. So we focused on it so much, and now that it's finally out, we're super proud of it. Error is an album that consists of 14 songs, and it talks about a lot of like the modern age look on technology, love, how everything now that we are included in social media most of the time, how it's different for us who grew up with that already existing, how it influences our emotions and our psychological way of viewing things.
Yeah, and greed. I mean,
And greed,
is a
yes,
great
exactly.
song talking about greed.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So super excited that you guys are on the bill tonight. You guys are moving on at 6:50.
That is correct.
6:50. I've said it before, and I will say it again. For those of you coming to the show, you can tailgate, but get in here early for our support bands because they are amazing. Lilith on at 6, The Warning on at 6:50. Ladies, I thank you so much for coming by and hanging out.
Thank you.
And you guys, I gave you guys a couple of choices of what should we play, and you guys said Choke. So talk to us and set up Choke a little bit.
Of course, Choke, well, it's one of my favorites because it was actually a challenge for me vocally. It's a very cool...
It's Monster, yeah.
Yes, and I love to play it live, and it's also a very deep song that means a lot to us about, you know, mental health and what a lot of us went through during the pandemic, figuring out that we were completely by ourselves. Like, we had a lot of time to, like, be with ourselves, and that's kind of what this song expresses.
Love it. It's Choke. It's The Warning. Get here. Rock the Park is on 105.5 WDHA, The Rock of New Jersey. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.